Aloha offline sharks. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to the Friday Marketing Live Jam session. We got a great show lined up for you today. We've got a ton of shark shout outs, member of the week, what we're reading. Plus, we're going to be talking a little bit about the training that we did this past week, a real non-tech way to bring in a lot of clients all at one time. You guys are going to love the show. So grab a cool drink and we are going to cue the intro.
Are you ready for the fastest 60 minutes of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun on planet Earth? It's now time. The moment you've been waiting for. After 167 agonizing hours, they've returned, broadcasting live from their island retreats, smack dab in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and now back for a brand new Sharks Live show. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Raise
awesome. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Super excited to have you here. I don't know. I'm using my new camera, Nick. Did you notice the difference?
Oh yeah. I did notice, and I'm using my old one.
Yeah. Well, I like when if I get close, see how it blurs out the background, but I gotta have my head like way up there. So,
yeah, that's called the shallow depth of field there. That bokeh. Better get that bokeh.
Yep, the bokeh. I learned that term the other day. It was so funny. I was talking to somebody in support, and they were talking about learning the technical side of things, and I was like, "Amen, brother. I'm going through the same thing." I was like, now I have a camera. It's like a whole new world of things to learn and settings to know. And I mean, I probably spent 2 hours just figuring out how to get this set up so that it looked okay.
Yeah, it looks crispy. No, Tom has his own new camera. My new camera is at my house.
Yeah.
So I was shooting some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But speaking of that technology thing, so I'm using this new iMac. I got a monitor. I ordered an HDMI cable. It came with a mini disc. Look at this.
Whoa.
It's been a while since I've seen one of these.
Yeah.
Anybody seen one of these? This is like a relic right here. I didn't even know what to do with it. I was like, is there a link on this? It definitely doesn't go on my computer.
That's so funny. What did that come with?
It came with like a dongle for the other monitor, which is weird. Weird. Yeah. It's a driver. It's a driver.
Yeah. That's so crazy. Yeah, Nick has a really nice camera. I got mine because I needed something that was, as you guys know, I'm not a techie person, so I needed something that I could basically set up and start, like going with. It wouldn't require me to spend hours to learn all the settings and how to focus the lens and all that stuff. And this, surprisingly, so I'm using the Sony A6400, and it was like super easy. Like it was super easy to get everything connected. It was just trying to figure out where to put the camera so that I could look at it. And I didn't look, like all that stuff was the hard part, but like getting it up and running was awesome. Yeah. Mike says, I heard 8-tracks coming back. I remember 8-track. Used to have some of those.
What's an 8-track?
You didn't even know what an 8-track is?
No.
An 8-track is like, they were like they were a little smaller than like a VHS tape, but they were kind of like a rectangle. They're probably about this big.
Wait, it's called an 8-track?
It's called an 8-track.
I thought they were called 8-tracks.
No, 8. The number 8.
I've never actually seen one in real life.
We used to have them. I think we had an 8-track player in my house when I was a kid. And so you put you pop it in and then it'd play the music and stuff.
That's amazing. Don, Don, reel to reel.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, man, we're super excited you guys are joining us here on Friday. Welcome. I see Don's there, Mark. Let's see who else. Rick. Aloha, Rick. Rick said your age is showing. Yeah, I see Dorn's here.
You mean that in a good way, though.
Yeah. Dude, my daughters, they barely even know what a CD is. Like
Exactly.
you tell them a CD, they're like,
if you showed this to your daughters, they would be like, "Is that a donut?
is it a frisbee?
Yeah.
Do we throw it? Do we catch it?
That's funny."
Yeah.
I know. Some of you guys are a little bit older than me, but you guys, we're still friends, right?
So funny. Well, awesome. Well, let's get cracking because we got a lot of which again this week we have a ton of shark shout outs. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Shark shout outs, baby. We don't here. Let's get cracking, recognizing some people that are kicking butt and taking names inside the Facebook groups. This is pretty awesome. So here, I'm going to share my screen here. Our first shout out goes to the soon-to-be Queen of England because she's killing it so hard over there. Jacqueline Heath.
Madam.
My lady. Is that how they say it in England? My lady.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do the curtsy. Jacqueline said Shark Challenge. She's not in Dorn's league, but she's still doing all right. She got her second new client since the challenge began. So for those of you in the Shark Alliance, we're running a challenge until I think November 7th, and it's for how many clients, how many levels completed, all that stuff. So Jacqueline is really killing it there. She got 650 pounds. That's the currency in England, right? To rebuild a site for Remo and Bruno. And they're a father and son. They have I don't know what that company is, but anyway, their website was in poor condition, so she's redoing it. So awesome work, Jacqueline. Way to go.
650 pounds.
No, I bench about 220. What do you bench, Nick?
No, what? What are you talking about? 650 pounds is like $1,000. Oh, you're talking. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Well, I don't know if you remember, there used to be these comedy guys called the Jerky Boys.
Oh yeah, I do know those guys. You
remember when they did that one where he was like
Airheads.
Pounds. He said something about pounds, and he's like, "How many pounds can you?" I forget what they were talking about, and he's like, "About 250." He's like, "Pounds, baby. I'm talking about bench pressing." I was like, cracks me up. Well, way to go, Jacqueline. That's really, really awesome. So our next shark shout out goes to the man, Dorn Brenton, with his awesome Ultimate Shark Challenge badge there. So he landed a new LinkedIn managed services client. And this is on November 16th. So this is just a few days ago. So 4 days ago. And he ascended a PPC client to retargeting. So existing client took him into some new services. So he got $3,000 upfront and $750 a month for the LinkedIn. The person is a life coach. And then $1,000 a month for retargeting. And it's an elder planning attorney. There's a niche you don't hear too often. Elder planning attorney. So awesome job, Dorn. Here, we'll give you some applause.
Here. You're like,
yeah, I gotta find the button.
Dorn actually got another client that I think he posted on either this morning or last night, which was like a monster client.
That one might be coming up.
Oh, okay.
That one may be coming up. We'll see.
We got to throttle back his shout outs, I think.
He gets a lot. He's kicking butt. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah,
this one
really
goes to Mark. So Mark said he's super stoked. He got some great news as part of a team effort with his partner. They landed a 4-site project for an association. So they went after an association with multiple members. They got 4 projects out of the deal. So they get a main membership site consisting of 65 plus pages, a new podcast training site, a business directory with a job board, hello AGM, and an e-com site where members can purchase coupons for use on other members' websites or brick and mortar stores. So total fees, $30,000, $30,000 plus annual hosting, security, and maintenance services. So he took what we talked about in the security thing and added it in, right? So he says, would not have had the confidence to even approach a project like this without Nick and Tom's trainings. So, I mean, that's freaking awesome. $30,000. That's mega, right, Nick? Oh, I think Nick may be frozen. He's not moving. Here, let me text him and say, I think you're frozen. Oh yeah, it crashed. His computer just turned off. So he'll be back in a minute. So way to go, Mark. Way to go. We're gonna power ahead with the shark shout outs, and when Nick gets back, he can jump in. All right. So our next shark shout out goes to Bryce. Bryce has, again, I've been talking to him a little bit. He's been kicking butt with the challenge and getting clients. So he just landed a social media client at $580 a month and $1,200 worth of website, social media, video cover, consistency stuff. So he said he's been trying to prepare for this moment by posting ads for a social media manager or VA on Upwork, Fiverr, etc. Says he still doesn't feel prepared to fulfill twice a day. You can do it, Bryce. Don't worry, man. You can totally do this. And I know you're going to make a great impression. So awesome job, Bryce. I know people are posting some comments and tips in there for you. So you're going to do fine. And if you need any help, just reach out to Nick or I. Like we're here for you, man. Awesome to see that. We'll give you some applause too. I keep forgetting to give you applause. And our next shout out, this one goes to James Healy. So James said he's landed, this is on November 17th. So 2 days ago, James had landed 2 clients today so far. A local chiropractor consultation and 1 month of social posting. That's at $734 a month. And then a children's author podcast launch coaching at $497. So way to go, James. Man, that's awesome to see you like getting all the traction you are. Really great to see that. Congratulations, James. Congratulations. Our next shark shout out is for Dorn. So this one was yesterday. So he landed 2 low-level pay-per-click clients. So $397 setup, $75 a month management on a $300 ad spend for both. So to break that down for those of you that may not be super familiar with PPC. So basically, Dorn's making $400 to set things up right in the beginning. And then he's getting $75 a month to maintain it. And then the client is ponying up $300 for the ad spend. So the client's paying for the ad spend. So, and then he posts a little thing about his prospecting for, the 18th, which was, he had 3 no-shows, 1 no thank you, 1 not right now. 3 people said decision calls, need to review the info over the last 2 days. So, remember when you see these kind of results from people, like, the way you get these results is by reaching out to as many people as you can, right? Like by prospecting consistently, by finding clients that you can genuinely help, right? By doing your homework, looking into the clients you're reaching out to, figuring out how you can genuinely help them, what their problems really are, and then reaching out to them. And that really, we talk about this all the time, Nick. In the game of prospecting, there's a lot that you can't control, right? You don't know how many people are going to sign up. You don't know how many people you're going to be able to get a hold of. You don't know how many people are going to call you back or even be interested. The only thing you can really control is how many people you reach out to on a consistent basis. And that really is the key. So awesome job, Dorn. Way to go, man. I don't think this is the one you were talking about, Nick. So maybe that one isn't in here yet. Can you hear me, Nick?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Our next shark shout out. This one was for Jacqueline again, and she put this in the comments of our live from last week. And we just wanted to give it a shout out because she got another client on our live last Friday. It's her first social media management client. So awesome job, Jacqueline. First social media client in the bag. Great to see you expanding your services and what you're doing. So awesome job. Let's see. Our next shark shout out. Oh, Jacqueline again. So she said, and this is a kind of a follow-up to her shout out there. She said that she mentioned she got her first social media client. So she just wanted to post some of the details. So the guy's in the PC repair niche. So that's the niche she found. He does network repairs online and manages networks for corporate clients. So she was really upfront with him, right? She told him that he was going to be her first client and we'd be getting a special price, right? And he offered him 3 packages, one at 125 pounds, one at 197, and one at 250 pounds per month for different levels of service, right? And with that, she offered to make his social media banners for free. So she threw in a bonus. He's taken her up on it, but she's not sure which package yet. So, but he did, let's see. But then he paid her 70 pounds for the social media banners, even though she offered them for free. So really awesome, Jacqueline. That's a great approach, the way that you're doing that. Being authentic, right? Being authentic.
Yeah, that's such a huge piece of it, especially if you're new. I mean, we have this, or at least I had this thought that, I needed to be this extremely prolific, well-known, marketer, strategist person before I could ever get a client or get a client that would pay me a lot of money. But it's not really the case. It really isn't. So, and one other thing I wanted to point out too is, you guys, Jacqueline, Dorn, James, Rick, a lot of the people that we give all these shout outs to, we're giving shout outs to them because they're posting in the group, right? But you'll see a lot of the time, they're not just posting the wins, they're posting asking questions, because when they're going out and about prospecting, building websites, trying to rank a website, running ads, talking to clients, whatever it is, they have questions. And I encourage everybody here on this call with us to ask those questions in the group. Or even if you don't do well with something, put a question in the group and ask, why didn't I do well with this? So we can help you. Everybody, in this community, I mean, we all grow together, and there's a lot of really smart people in this group, smarter than Tom and my, way more experience, all that, So I get hit up, Tom gets hit up with a lot of private message questions, and I almost always tell people hey, you should post this question in the group, because yeah, I'll answer it there, but you're going to get 9 or 10 or 15 more responses that are probably even better than mine.
Yeah, the power of all the people and the experience that's inside that group is really awesome. So leverage it every chance you can, right? And if you're trying something and it's not working, that's nothing. That's also a thing to celebrate, because you're putting in the effort, right? So share what you're doing that's not working, so we can try to work through that and give you some tips and tricks that get it going. So awesome job, Jacqueline. Our next shout out goes to Tony Edward. So Tony, this is client number 3 at $297. So that puts him at $891 a month recurring, slowly but surely getting there. So $891 times 12 months. I mean, that's over 10 grand, right? Over 10 grand he added for a year, right? But he says, but who's counting? Laugh out loud. These are the great times to be a shark. So, wow. Awesome job, Tony. We brought Tony on one of the lives a few weeks ago and shared some of the success he was having, right out of the gate, a few people he worked out to. So it's awesome to see him continuing to keep that momentum going, right?
Yeah, he's being consistent, and he's also fell in love with the old $300 foot in the door service. That price point, regardless of what you're selling, we've found is it's the sweet spot for identifying somebody that is interested in progressing with their business and their marketing or doing whatever they're doing, but also just enough to put a little skin in the game to make you interested to prospect in this way. So I love the $300 service. Good job, Tony.
Yeah. I think that anywhere between that, as long as I think you're between that 500 and less, it's really good, right?
Yeah.
He also says that in the 1990s, he did a 17 school fundraiser using the strategy that we talked about on Wednesday, right? So he's like, I know it works. It never fails. That's going to be his 2021 leadoff campaign. Thanks for reminding him. So that's awesome, Tony. Yeah. And that's something, Nick, that we didn't talk about on the training, but there are lots of different ways that you can position, that strategy we'll talk a little bit about more, but school fundraisers is one way you could do it. You could go put one of those together for a school, for a PTA group, right? Help them raise money. We have a thing inside the training called the sponsored mailing strategy, which is kind of like that, where you find a business, a good one is an insurance agent. If you have an insurance agent that is looking to get, not just regular consumers, but also business insurance clients, then one thing you can approach them about is they actually sponsor one of your cards. And so what that means is the branding on the card is for their agency. right? So when they send it out, when it gets out to the 10,000 people, people see their insurance agency, all their information. But then what the agent does is they can give the ads away for free to not only their existing business clients, but clients that they maybe want to bring in. So they can bring some value, get some reciprocity going right with those clients. So really, really awesome. So way to go, Tony. Way to go.
Way to go, Tony. Yeah, and Gabriel just asked about that. Gabriel, we're gonna talk more about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Tom was just talking about. But
yeah. So James, another shout out for James. So he posted this. He said, "Look, any ones you've had in the past week, got some stinking badges, 3, closed some deals, 7 deals he closed last week, sent out a couple of proposals, partnered with an agency in Seattle. Obstacles he's faced in the last week, time, never enough." Amen, James.
True that, brother.
Yeah. Had some fires to put out today, some technical stuff. Again, like, whew, I love that GIF he has there of the cat.
Yeah, I just noticed that. He's like, that duck is getting smacked.
Yeah, like, get away. So what are his plans for this week? He says, look, make progress in your business, keep the momentum going, get some more badges, get some more deals in the bag too, finish setting up his AGM site, kick some duck. I mean, but that's awesome. So these types of posts are really great. And this is kind of what we were just talking about, right? Like he's talking about the actions he's taking. He's talking about the obstacles he's facing, and he's talking about his plans. So he's setting himself up to be accountable, right? Like he's putting that in the group so that he knows, like, these are the things that I'm focusing on, that I'm doing. So he's leveraging the group to keep himself accountable and keep his thing out there. So way to go, James. All right. That is all of our shark shout outs. For now, anyway. So congratulations, everybody. Really awesome to see all that stuff happening in the group.
Yep, another solid week of people taking action and getting customers.
Yeah, it's really great to see all that stuff happen, especially with everything that's going on and all that stuff. Like, seems like we say that every week, but really great to see. Not only is there opportunity out there, but there's opportunity for people in our community, and they're grabbing a hold of it. So way to go, everybody. Way to go. Let's see. What should we do? When do you want to do some Cash App?
You guys want to do some Cash App money? Are we at about that? About that time?
Yeah, we're about halfway through.
What's everybody else think? What do you guys think? I got some questions. Shashan hooked us up with some questions.
You've been listening.
Oh, I hit the wrong one.
Here comes the money.
Dude.
I love that. I love that graphic of that song. It just makes me feel warm inside every time I play it.
Look at everybody. Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin's inside joke. You guys want to see Kevin? Somebody asked for patches. Look, patches. Kevin, ready for the Bitcoins. Okay, so the question.
Oh, you know what? I did forget a shout out. Okay. I'll let you ask a question. I'll be right back. Okay. I'll be right back.
All right. You guys want to see Kevin? Hold on. Hey. There he is. The gremlin himself. Okay. I'm going to ask a question. Hold up. Let's see. All right. So the first person that gets the answer to this question, you got to type it in the comments wherever you're watching. The way that the software works that we're using to stream this is like everybody's watching from the Facebook group, from the Facebook page. You're all coming in from different areas, but we get all of the comments here in the green room, I guess you could call it. Don Schaefer says, don't feed him after midnight and don't get him wet. I showed him Kevin. Yeah. Gremlins, that's a great movie. It's a great movie. So yeah, I'm going to ask a question. The first person that gets it right in the chat, that we see will get some Cash App money, and all you have to do is share your cash tag. Our team will get with you to get that cash tag. So we're going to send you some money. And the first question is, name the program that Tom started using to generate income after his regular job.
Oh,
And it's very relevant right now.
It
Very
is.
relevant.
we're going to talk about that. There's always a little bit of a delay. Oh, I see some coming in.
Yeah, you're probably ahead of me.
Let's see. Oh, yep. It looks like, let's see. Gabriel.
Gabriel. Cue the music, Tom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to do the music.
Here comes the money.
Great.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yes, CCSU.
CCSU. Congratulations, Gabriel.
And CCSU, for everybody that doesn't know, stands for Coupon Cash System Unleashed. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. So stay tuned. We're gonna do another Cash App giveaway too. So if you didn't win that one, you still have a chance. Gabriel, please stick your cash tag in the comments. And if you don't have one yet, you just go to offlinesharks.com/cash app. It's completely free. Everybody should get a cash tag, Cash App. That's how we send gifts, on all of our webinars. We're regularly throwing out, prizes and gifts just for hanging out with us, asking questions, engaging with us. It makes all of these, it makes all these lives so much more fun. It makes all of our training so much more fun when you guys ask questions. So we just like to make it a little more fun by doing that. Yeah.
And I did forget one shout out at the beginning. So yesterday, this package showed up on my door and I was like, who the heck is this from? And it was from David Sprague and John Donges. And check this out. The Facebook Oculus Quest 2.
Dude, I got mine. I got one too last night.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
It's freaking
yes.
Have you hooked it up yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't had time. I got it last night.
Oh my God. It is it's pretty freaking amazing. Paige already has some incriminating video of me looking like a moron.
Really?
Yeah. I'm doing the beat. You got to get the Beat Saber game. It's pretty fun.
Is it? As soon as you said Oculus Quest, I heard in the other room, the kids in the other room were like, "You got an Oculus?"
It's pretty amazing. Like I used to have this old VR thing that you put your phone in, and Miranda was like, "Oh, how's the Oculus?" And I was like, "Well, our old VR thing was a piece of crap." I was like, because it sucked. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Google box.
Yeah, I had it was like a plastic thing and it opened and you put your phone in it and then you put it on. Yeah, it was not good.
So, and I don't want to derail our live too hard here, but with the Oculus, are we able to like play games? Like
we can, yeah. There's multiplayer games, so we can sign up and play games.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I forgot to do that at the beginning though to those guys. So thanks, David, John. It was so funny. I was just thinking about ordering one of those and then it showed up. So I was like, oh, they beat me to it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Let's do what's Tom reading. So you can find all the books that we talk about every week on the live. You just go to offlinesharks.com/books. You'll see all the books we recommend there. And this is actually a book that when I was in Vegas for the mastermind, Perry Belcher showed up, and this was a book that he recommended, and I hadn't really heard of it, but I read it, and it's really good. It's by a copywriter. His name's Rory Sutherland, and he's the vice chairman of Ogilvy and Mathers, like David Ogilvy. He's got a lot of TED Talks that you can see on YouTube that are all really, really good too. But he put a lot of the stuff in this book. It's called Alchemy. It's the dark art and curious science of creating magic in brands, business, and life. So this book, it was really, really fascinating. Not only did I get a lot of there's like a lot of higher level marketing concepts and stuff like that. And a lot of things where, he talks about where there's the conventional wisdom, but then when you actually put a product into the marketplace, the market reacts differently. So he talks a lot about why that is. Like, why is it that conventional wisdom says this shouldn't work, yet we have proof that if we structure a campaign or doing these things, it works, and it works like gangbusters. So there's a lot of examples of that in there, of things that, tests they did at Ogilvy and other stuff throughout history where people did that. One really interesting one was about the potato. So there was going to be people were starving, right? And they brought these potatoes into the country to help, but the people wouldn't eat the potatoes because I didn't know this, but did you know that dogs will not eat potatoes? I didn't know that. Like they won't eat potatoes. So like the people would not, don't try to feed Kevin a potato, but the people wouldn't eat the potatoes because they were like, oh, if the dogs won't eat them, we don't want to eat them. So what the monarch did was he made a royal garden where they grew the potatoes, and he put guards around the garden, right? Huh. And so this buzz started going on about this royal vegetable and what they're eating in the palace. But then at night, they would send the guards home. So they made it so people could go in and steal the royal vegetable. And because it was the royal vegetable, people would go in and steal it. And the potato spread all across the country. Oh, French fries are different. Yeah. Patches will eat French fries.
Herc. Dude, Herc is one of the funniest dudes I know, man. That guy cracks me up. What's up, Herc?
I thought that was interesting, right? That what would you call that? Setting something up, like they deliberately made this thing like look out of reach so it would spread. And that's just one of the stories in there, but really great book. You can pick it up on Amazon. Alchemy, The Dark Art and Curious Science of Creating Magic in Business, in Brands, Business, and Life by Rory Sutherland. So definitely check it out.
Seems like a good book.
Yeah, it was really fascinating. It actually tied in, I've been reading some of those Nassim Taleb books like Skin in the Game, and the other one was Anti-Fragile. I haven't started reading yet. Skin in the Game and Fooled by Randomness. A lot of the stuff in alchemy is along those lines. So it's really, really super interesting. He's got a pretty good writing style. It's not like some of those Nassim books are get kind of heady. You're like, I don't know if I followed that sentence or not. That was a lot of big words.
Yeah. Man, I got I was on such a fire book reading streak. I was reading it had been I want to say 4 months since I had got caught watching Netflix at night before bed. But then Sloan, of course, just totally corrupted me. And then I've been have you seen that show, the Queen's Gambit?
Oh yeah, we watched that whole thing. That thing was great.
She got me. So I've been slacking on my reading, Tom. I have a confession. I've been slacking on my reading.
The Queen's Gambit, that's a great series.
It is.
Great. Yeah, we got hooked on we finished watching that, and so we have the HBO Max app. We've been watching that show Barry, which is pretty good.
I don't want to hear. I have a question for you about the reading in the books, because I know you read a lot. So when you read books, do you read them word for word every page? Are you a speed reader, or what's your strategy going into that?
Sometimes it depends on the book, right? So I think a really great strategy for reading anything is I usually try to get an overview before I start reading the book. So the way I'll do that is I'll read the back cover, I'll read the inside covers, I'll read the table of contents to kind of get an idea what the book's about. And then if it's something that I think I want to read cover to cover, I'll just read it cover to cover. But sometimes if I just want to get the gist of the book, but I don't want to invest in reading the whole thing, then another strategy you can use is you go to each chapter and you read the first, couple of paragraphs, and then you go read the last few paragraphs of each chapter. Because typically in the first few, they tell you what they're going to talk about. And then
Right.
in the last few, they wrap up what they talked about. And so you can go through an entire book that way and like make notes in the margins, like, oh, this is interesting. I can come back and read that. And you can talk intelligently about a book that you've read that way because you
Mhm.
understand what's in there. And then I'll go back and read interesting parts. But most of the books I read cover to cover. You know,
Yeah.
I usually read before I go to bed. So I'll just sit down and read them.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's definitely different strategies to reading, and I've noticed that with a lot of like business, personal development, self-help type books, a lot of it is like there's like 4 or 5 really good golden nuggets in most books, and you can catch those at like the beginning of chapters. You can kind
Yeah.
of find them in the beginning, maybe even in like the outline, and all the other stuff is really just kind of like a rambling of those
Yeah.
points. And so if you can kind of read through it and pick those out, I don't know, probably read a lot more books.
Yeah, well, no, and I think that's a great strategy. And you're right. There's usually only a couple of things in every book that you're like, oh wow, that's
Yeah.
good. Like I'm glad I know that. But a lot of the other stuff, either or it's not practical for what you're doing. So that's a good strategy too. Here, let's do our member of the week, and then I want to talk a little bit about CCSU because I know some people had
Yeah.
questions and stuff. So let's
Yep.
talk about. Of the week. So our member of the week, we give out a member of the week every week for the person that our team sees or we see in the Facebook group, answering questions, being engaged, just being a general great member of our community and helping other people out. And so this week, our member of the week is Mr. James Healy. He's
Heck
the
yeah.
one on the left there in the red shirt.
We have some child prodigies in this group. Heck yeah, James. That's awesome, man. Well deserved.
Yeah. Awesome job, James. So our team's going to be in contact with you, James. We're going to get you some special prizes. Who knows what it'll be. So look out for them to reach out to you. So congratulations on being our member of.
We are working on some new cool prizes too, you guys, just so you know. And did you see Scott? He did like an unboxing of his shirt, did a video in the group. That was super cool.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you got to check it out later. It was good. He had like his backdrop was pretty sick. His backdrop was pretty sick, I gotta say. But yeah, you guys, could you give James, could you guys tag him, give him a shout out, congratulations, give him a congrats, especially if he's helped you, right? If he's made comment in something you're doing, helped him out. I mean, we like to show all of our sharks some love and appreciation, especially when they all help each other out. That's awesome. And I see a lot of good comments coming in and feedback for James. So good stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Look at that. Congrats. Awesome. Way to go, James. So let's talk a little bit about the training we did on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I know we did a training and it's, it was something that came about.
That's awesome, Gabriel.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that.
Awesome. We'll go back and
We'll
look.
go back.
We'll go back and look later. We'll figure that out. Awesome. So the training we did on Wednesday. So the training we did on Wednesday kind of came about because, we get this question all the time in our group. Like if you were starting over, if you had limited resources, if you were, really tight on money, like what would you do to get some traction, to get things going? And, a lot of times when people ask that, really what they're talking about is getting cash, right? Getting money that you can put in the bank. And, sometimes with a lot of strategies and things that are out there, they're kind of like, they're built to be long-term strategies, right? Like you're building a long-term business. It takes a little bit of time to get things together, right? Like sometimes you have to figure out what services you're going to offer. You've got to learn the service. You have to have some kind of confidence in being able to talk to people. Yeah. Dorn. It cracks me up. So, one of the things that I did in the beginning was I had this service and this process that was really really straightforward. It wasn't technical. Like I didn't even have a website. I didn't have anything, right? Like I basically was just able to start reaching out to businesses, and just by telling them what I was doing, and then by also showing businesses what I was doing, I was able to sign up. I think on my first one, it was like 16 clients in 7 days, right? And so, so this thing, it's not technical, right? There's no kind of digital side to it. It's sort of an old school method. And it's doing these kind of, they're like a jumbo postcard mailer, right? And you have ad spaces on each side. And basically you just sell the ad spaces for $500 each. And then you're able to mail these cards out, and you can do them for however many you want. I typically do 10,000, right? But what it does is what's that? Go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna say, can we talk about that for a second? Like,
Yeah.
The I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry,
No, you're good.
You just said some good stuff that I wanted to, before we jumped ahead on that. Like, so for those of you that don't know, or that weren't, by the way, who was on that training? Who was on that training? Because it was a really, really good training. It was, as Art mentioned, one of the best, well delivered and actionable. And I think, and I really want to hit on that, because I think a lot of trainings out there, there's something to buy at the end of them, and that's fine. That's all good and well. But a lot of the time, you can't leave those trainings without buying that thing. And the training that Tom, it was majority Tom doing all of this training. He gave you all of the actionable information that you can take away. Like, you left that training and you could do everything that he was talking about, and you could get the same type of results that he had gotten. And I made comment on that training that, what are the numbers, Tom? How many clients did you get in how many days, and how much profit?
It was 16 clients, and that was in 7 days. And then my profit, like the money I got to keep, was like $4,000.
Okay. So 16 clients in 7 days, and he kept $4,000 profit. Now, normally when you see that as like a headline on a sales page with sales copy, you look at that and you're like, that can't be right. This is bogus. These guys are lying or whatever. But you guys know us. We would never do something like that, first of all. And when you see this strategy, when Tom unpacks it on this training, you'll know exactly how it happened and why that could be true, and why it is true. And in fact, true many times over. I mean, he's done this many times. In fact, when we first started working together and hanging out, he had way more clients than I did, because this is what he was doing. And I didn't have that secret weapon at that point. And he has been able to teach other people to do this as well. And one of those students, like Scott, made a post. Did you see that post that Scott made, Tom, in the group?
I did. Yeah.
What did he say about? I don't remember the exact details and metrics, but how many cards has he done?
He's done 18.
He's done
just this year, like just since 2020 started. So through the pandemic, through the shutdowns, everything, he's put out 18 of these, and he does it part-time, right? He's a high school teacher, so he does it part-time. So yeah, really, really awesome.
He's profited. I mean, if he had the same margins as you, he doesn't have to use the same margins, Tom, but that's $72,000 in profit just this year. And that's kind of the bonus, or actually the bonus is you have to consider how many clients, how many new clients, how many businesses that know him, that now look at him as an expert, that he can sell pretty much whatever he wants to on an ongoing basis. Like, he has a real legitimate business because he has a pool of customers that know him, that see the value he brings, and they look at him as a trustworthy, credible person that can help them with their business. And we all know that when you're able to do that, people start asking you questions. You get emails, you get phone calls, you get direct messages from people saying, hey, I'm looking to do this, or what would you do in this situation? Can you help me with this? And it really just sets you up. So, $72,000 in profit plus, I mean, at least 50 new customers, maybe some of them repeat customers, but a lot of new customers.
Yeah, I know with Scott, like typically he has the same kind of numbers I do, where about half of every card he does is repeat business. I mean, that's how effective it is for businesses.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure his margins are a lot better than mine, because one of the things that I have to deal with being here in Maui is there's no one that does this UV printing here on the island. So having the cards, it costs me just as much to have the cards shipped here as it does to have them printed. And people in other places don't have that, right? Don't have that at all. And you know what's really great about this too, and I don't want you guys to think because it's like it's direct mail that you think, oh, it's got to be complicated and super expensive. If you go to that link and watch the training, you'll see exactly how I structured everything so that you don't have to spend any money out of your own pocket. In fact, you collect the money first before you do anything else, which is really key to this, because once you have cash, you know, like fulfillment and things like that are super easy. You don't even have, it's like not a hassle at all. So I show you exactly how to do all that in the training. So I would definitely go and watch that so you can see that process. And if you're on there too, you'll see, you know, I know Scott does most of his prospecting, I think pretty much all of it through email and social media. And I talk about on that training, the show or tell and sell method. And that is, you know, somebody just put in the comments, like I just saw this comment. I don't know who this is, but he said, look, unfortunately, I don't have time for sales, and he's an introvert. This process of what we're doing here is like the ideal thing if you're in that situation, because you don't have to sell anything. All you have to do is tell a business or show them what you're doing. And by that, I mean, you can just shoot them a Facebook message and be like, hey, I'm putting together a co-op mailer that's going to go out to 10,000 households right here in the area. And it's super inexpensive. I'm only going to allow one business of each type on there. Would you be interested in taking my veterinarian spot, my electrician spot, my plumber spot? It's only $500, and that I'll even do the ad design for free. Like, I mean, there's no real selling. You just tell them what you're doing, and they're either interested or they're not. And if they're not, no biggie, just move to the next one, because people are going to be interested, especially if they've tried direct mail, they've tried to do it, and they're going to know that being able to hit 10,000 households for $500, and that's 5 cents per mail piece, $50 per 1,000. That is like a crazy low number for that kind of exposure. And if you think about businesses, like where could they even get that kind of exposure outside of this? Like nowhere. Like, I mean, I guess they could run a TV ad, but then they got production costs. Like that's going to be super expensive. Radio, same thing, right? They got to buy the time. They got to produce the commercial. Like this is just really, really straightforward. And so, I used it to launch my local influencer site. So, you can do this, brand it with your agency growth machine website, and it will drum up interest and exposure for your site as well. So you get something out of the deal too, right? Because every time I send one of these out, and by the way, in the training, I show you how you don't even have to mail them. Like the printer that I tell you about on the mailing will do that for you, right? So you don't even all you really have to do is get people to buy the ads just by the show, tell, or sell method. And then once you collect some money, which is really easy to do in the beginning, you just get a designer to design the ads, and then you send that to the printer. I mean, it's really pretty much, it can be very hands-off for this type of thing. So anyway, where I was getting with that is when I send one of these out, like I always get calls from people, business owners that are like, hey, I got this thing in the mail. What is this? Tell me about it. Like, how do I get my business on there? And then you can direct people to your AGM site, your influencer site. A lot of times I will bundle those two things together and be like, look, I have this community resource website that I'm getting ready to launch. Like, this is how I did in the beginning. I'm getting ready to launch it. But as part of the launch, I'm going to send out a direct mail piece to 10,000 households, but I can only take 14 people from the resource site. And this is what it's going to be. We're going to do a co-op. It's going to be $500. Are you in? And then I'll send out the mailer and put my, influencer site URL on there and drive people back to that. And I'll even sometimes throw in a free premium listing if they sign up for an ad. So I'm able to bundle those things together.
That's a good way to kind of, anybody that's on the fence, which I think rarely happens in that situation because, $500 to reach 10,000, qualified homes, and that's homes. There's oftentimes 2, 3, 4 adults living in a home in these areas, especially in Hawaii. We got like multi-generational families all living in tiny little houses because there isn't a lot of houses here. We're on this tiny little island. But what I mean by that is it's $500 to reach 10,000 people. So as a business owner, and one of the key things that Tom mentioned is, and let me know what you guys think about this. Has anybody here, can you relate to trying to sell like a website, or trying to sell ads, or trying to sell SEO, or Facebook, or retargeting? I love all those services. I'm not knocking it. I'm just pointing something out. When you explain those services in your sales process, whatever it may be, and you may be really good at it, and that's fine. But when you explain that to a customer, there is a process of having to explain, like, this is why you need this website. This is why it costs this much. And this is why you need SEO. This is what SEO is. You have to explain it to them. And that's for somebody that's not technical, or somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience, that can be difficult, right? Have you guys had that experience before? Maybe you could give me like a 2 in the comments. Have you had that experience of trying to explain something that you're not too savvy about, and you probably maybe lost the sale or had a difficult time doing it? Well, what I like about this method is that when you show, I wish I had one of them here with me, Tom. When you show this to a business, they immediately see the value in it. And all you need to do to explain this, say like, look, I send one of these out to 10,000 homes in our area, and I will give you one of these spaces with your special coupon or offer right here for $500. And that's it. Like there's no other like major, like, it's not, well, do I have to buy a domain, or, am I going to send you the, like, all that stuff just goes away because they immediately see like, well, if I have a pizza business and I want to bring people into my business right now, especially right now, because the current market like desperately needs customers, and you could do a restaurant card, you could do whatever. If I can get an offer out to 10,000 people in my area about a special I'm having, and they see it, then that would be extremely profitable for me, the business owner. And imagine like that. Can you hold it up again, Tom?
Yeah.
So when somebody gets that in the mail, it's massive, right? It's not the type of thing you just throw to the side. Like it's super thick, it's shiny, it's 9 inches by 12 inches. And there's a lot of special prices and deals on it. Like that's the type of thing that goes on the refrigerator or gets hung up in an office. And like if you do restaurants only on your card, like that's going up in a lunchroom, in a break room, in a snack room, a tea room. But you guys see the value in that, right? You guys see how,
yeah, and typically when these go in the mailbox, just so you guys know, they do it like this. They will fold them like this. They don't crease them, but they'll put like all the letters in the middle. So when the person pulls out their mail, it just like opens up. And you can see, I call that 100% open rate, because all they have to do is glance at each side, right? Which crushes Valpak, where people have to open an envelope and go through all the stuff. And like, they can just keep.
That envelope goes straight in the trash can. That's all that does. Nobody even opens that thing up. And yes, you guys, for the questions, I see questions coming in, but we in this training give you everything. Like we give you the shipping, printing, done for you service that we use. So like, let's say you want to do this. We give you, like, you don't have to do any of that. We don't do any of the printing. We don't do any of the graphic design. We don't do any of the shipping. We don't do any of that stuff. All we do is we collect the names and the information from the people that want to go on there. So this business model has been something that I've helped Tom, but this is something that Tom has been doing longer than I have, for 4 years now, 5 years.
And I've been doing it since, gosh, it's been over 5 years. I started this in like 2012.
Yeah. So having done this so many times since 2012, all of the things that we have needed to create to have an easier time prospecting or mass prospecting or sending email or all that stuff that we've spent lots of money to invest in, like that's what we give you guys. So, if you're looking for a way to have a different type of strategy that is very different and unique than probably anything that you've seen before, you want to go to that link and save it in a new tab, because the live is going to be over in a few minutes and you can go watch it then, but you'll want to check it out.
They should watch it, because we do show you everything, right? Like you'll be able to actually do this after the training. So I want to get to a couple of questions here. Hey, Darla.
Miss Darla.
Yeah. So here was one. Somebody said, depending on cost, you probably need 50 to 60% ads sold in order to pay for everything. Actually, it's less than 50%. So, once you sell 7 ads, you've covered all your costs, right? There are some things you can do as well with this. Like one of the, I talk about on the training of how we make this an even easier offer for people to accept, especially if we don't have any credibility or authority, by breaking the payment up. And there's a specific way you need to do that so that you make sure you have all the money collected before you have to do any printing or mailing. And I show that in the training. So you should check that out. But yeah, the profit margins on this are really good. This is another option you can do too. You can send your cards out to businesses and residents. I typically do just residents, but you can do both. We show you how to do that on the training as well. And that can drum up business for you. Here's a great question. How much time would it be acceptable for a business to wait until I fill the card with 14 businesses, since I'm doing this part-time? That's a great question. So let me give you a couple of little things on timing and putting them out. I found a really comfortable window for putting one of these together is 30 days. I think Scott does one every 6 weeks, right? So, 30 to 45 days is a really good window to do this. So typically what I do is I will approach businesses and give them that kind of deadline. Like, hey, I'm planning to have this out, like let's say, so this is November and I've been working to put a mailer together now, but it's not for Christmas. It's for the beginning of the year. So I tell people it's going to go out at the beginning of January. So that's one thing. Another thing is I don't do mailers for specific deadlines. So like I don't do a Christmas mailer. I know that sounds like it would be a good thing to do, but I found the hard deadline can be a detriment, right? So I typically try
Isn't that funny, Tom?
What's that?
You found the deadline to be a detriment.
Yes, yeah, that is
very ironic.
For this. But typically what I'll just, and I'm really upfront with people that sign up. I say, look, because this is co-op, all the spaces have to be gone before I send it to the printer. So I'm going to be out. I'll keep you updated on what's going on. And then I keep them updated. Like I'll let them know, hey, like just to let you know, I've got a couple spots left. If you know somebody that would like one, send them my way so we can get this thing out. Like I'll use that as a way to get customers in. And then I just keep them updated. And I've never had anyone with any issues about timing or sending it out or, how long they wait. And plus there's other things going on during that process. Like I've taken their information that they want on their ad. I have a designer working on it. So I'm sending them, the ad design and they're sending me changes. So they see stuff is happening. It's not like they give you money and you just disappear. Like there's things going on. So I know that was kind of a long answer to that question, but Gabriel, Cameron, do we have a link that we can send Gabriel to?
I don't think Cameron's here.
Oh,
it's so here. Funny. We're just like, whenever we're online doing it,
we're always like, hey, Cameron.
Cameron's not here. Cameron's probably hanging out with his kid.
Hey, Gabriel, can you just submit a ticket? Just send us a ticket to offlinesharks.com/support, and I'll get that to you. Yeah, I'll get that to you. Let me see. Hold on. James says, what about printing a community resource guide on part of the mailer with local phone numbers? Great idea, James. Great idea.
Love that idea.
Let's see. Do you mean you also have the mailing done for you? Yes, I do have the mailing done for me. So let me give you a general breakdown. Okay. Now, by the way, I charge $500 for the ad spaces, no matter what ad space they buy on here, right? So all of these are $500, no matter what, right? Like you can, I don't know if you can see this ad here, but this is a guy who owns 2 businesses. So we put both businesses in one ad space, right?
You know what I'm gonna do, Tom? I'm gonna go to that link right now, and I'm gonna show the button, like, because we're basically showing everybody what it is right now, right? Like,
Yeah.
you guys should absolutely watch the training. If you go to that link, you should 100% watch the training. We give you all the information. Usually the way it works is after you get to like the 40-minute mark of the training, it's not a very long training, the button to pick up the entire system will appear. But we're just telling you guys exactly what it is. Again, you don't have to buy it. Like, if you watch that training, you'll get everything you need to be able to start doing this on your own. But if you want like all the done for you material and everything, we're gonna we give you a crazy special offer. Crazy.
Yeah, it's really like, it's a good deal. So, what was I saying about the mailer? Oh, the 500 and the pricing. So, I priced it at 500 just because I found that an easy number. Some people price their ads more. They'll charge 800 or 900 for the bigger ads, and they'll charge, 300 for the smaller ads, and they'll do it that way. I just like the 500 across the board. But so if you have 14 ads on a card at $500, that's $7,000 in revenue, right? It's going to cost you anywhere from $300 to $500 for your 14 ads to be designed and put together on the card. And then the printing and the mailing, if there's a couple of different options, but typically, that's around $1,300. So you have a really healthy profit margin in there, right? So it's really, really good. I know for me, I think to do the printing and the mailing for Hawaii is like $2,800. So, but again, we've already I've already collected the money when I get to that point. Like, I tell everybody up front, like, I do not send the card to the printer or until I've collected all the money from everyone. So I don't pay that money out of my pocket. Like, I don't have to come up with $500 or $3,000 to print and mail them. Like, I get it from the clients and then I do it.
So by the way, Gabriel, if you go to that page now, you can pick it up right now. You should see it there.
Yeah, you could test the waters, right? Just send out some email. Like, I wouldn't commit to anything. I would just email some people, message them, and be like, "Hey, would you be interested?" But honestly, I think the deadline's too tight for Christmas now, because if you are doing a Christmas mailer, you would probably want it to be going out right about now, towards the end of November, beginning of December. And just with ad design and all that, I wouldn't put that pressure on yourself, especially for your first one. I would start talking to people about doing one for the new year, though, because that's another really big time. People like to get the word out and hit the ground running. Oh, he said he meant Phil, not feel. I hope I answered it right, though. Let's see. So we're going to keep it open, I think, just until tomorrow, Michelle. Just until tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the last day. So you could get off this live right now and go watch that training a little more, and it'll be around at that special deal and for another day, and then it will go back up to $997. But I think if you go to that link, you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's not anywhere near that.
Yeah, Scott, you could do a strategy like this where you say, like, typically these ads are, you could like price the ads higher and then give them a deal. Say, typically this ad would be, $700, but I'm going to do it for $500. And when you watch the training, you'll see, like, really to secure their spot, they're only paying 50% deposit. So it's really only cost them $250 right out of the gate. Yes. So it is the same concept and idea. And so Bob is one of the guys who helped me with this, and he was an early supporter of me doing this training and contributed a lot. And he's actually promoted a version of this training to his people. So yeah, So if you're
But the
familiar with that,
difference-
you're going to find some different things. The main thing with this is the templates, all the things that we have that go with it, right?
It's the difference is really everything that it's taken for us to do this the last 4 years is what's included. Plus, you get Tom's over the shoulder videos, trainings, everything that he has learned and put into play, and the hiccups, the obstacles, the shortcuts, all that stuff is what we have in there. Plus, all of our, we call it a done for you treasure chest. It's in there.
It is. It is. Yeah, and I show you who we use on the training. I'm not going to go into it here. Watch the training.
Yeah, watch the training,
Not
guys.
long. Watch the training.
Yep.
So let's see. Michelle says coupon calendars are usually January. Okay. Is the coupon a one-time offer or use until the expiration date? That is a great question, Michelle. So I typically have the clients, like, I'll say, okay, once we know exactly when the card's going to go out, because that date is kind of fluid, right? I'll recommend that if they're going to put an expiration date, and some clients don't put an expiration date, but if they're going to, I typically recommend they do one that's like 30 to 60 days out from when I know they're going to be mailed. So like if I know the cards are going to hit the first week of January, then I would have them set their expiration date for the end of February, maybe the end of March. But I also tell people, if somebody brings in a coupon and it's past the expiration date, you should honor it. Like, do not turn them away. Like, you tried something and it brought a person in, like, give them the deal, right? So I hope that answers that questions. Gabriel, no, there's like a pro and advanced. If you want the actual sample mailings, those come with the advanced version. Yeah, exactly. Different, but the concept the same. Yeah. Somebody said they have both Barros and ours. Awesome.
Nice.
James says, got to run. Cool. Awesome. Well, I think we got through the questions there, Nick.
We'll do one last Cash App giveaway.
Oh, yeah. One last Cash App giveaway.
Here comes the money.
Okay, you guys.
I got a little happy with the trigger finger. Sorry.
Next question. First one who gets this right gets some Cash App money. Name 2 category tiers for winning a prize in the Shark Challenge going on right now. A lot of people taking the Shark Challenge.
Okay,
Yeah.
so name 2 categories for prizes in the Shark Challenge right now.
Yeah. Yes. And I think there's 5. Are there 5? We're giving away tons of prizes in the challenge, and each prize giveaway has a name, right? If you get 3 clients, the first one of 3 clients gets and then
Don't give
first
it away.
one that makes the most money gets the Kevin. No, not Kevin.
No,
I see some guesses.
I'm here. Let's see.
Tom's looking up the names.
Yeah, I better make sure we got them right. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
we better make sure we know them.
You have them up?
I do have them
Okay.
up.
All right.
Look how fast I found them. If you're in the Shark Alliance, you should have already found them by now.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on, they actually have names.
Yep.
The blank award, the blank award, the blank award.
Is that their blank award? Okay.
How many did you say? Name 2?
2. Got to name 2. That's a good question. Good question,
I
Shashan.
think
Thank you.
Scott Voss got it.
Did he?
Yep.
You sure?
Oh, let me look. Hold on.
That'd be great if you did.
Yeah, he did. Yep, he did. So we had a prize for the Reawakened Shark Award, which that went to like you were already an existing member of the Shark Alliance, but you had stopped, like for whatever reason, you got sidetracked and you weren't going through the levels anymore. So when you reawakened and started going through the levels again, we're giving an award to the person that gets the farthest from that. And then the Whale Shark Award is the shark who closes the largest deal during the challenge. And then we've also got like the Baby Shark Award, the Speedy Shark Award, and the Client Shark Award all in there too.
That's all I like. I mean, both the Reawakened Shark and the Whale Shark Award. Those are great. I wonder who's going to win the Reawakened Shark. Dorn has the I can't win the contest award.
I know. I was complaining about that. Right?
Yeah, that was an awesome question. So, Scott, stick your cash tag, please, and we'll gather that and make sure to send you some cash.
Yeah, I saw earlier. I don't know if you show this, but Rick said he already has businesses entered in his first card mailer.
I didn't see that. Not Rick.
Yeah.
Which Rick? Rick Upshaw.
Rick Upshaw, yeah. He said I already have businesses entered in my first card mailer. So way to go, Rick.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really awesome. There was I was trying to look for that. Gabriel, we'll do that. We'll find the person that answered the CCSU question second, and we'll get them your Cash App prize. That was really awesome. You'd share that. Where did this?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Screen now. Where did my?
So, Tom, can you tell everybody that is part of the challenge where they can see those awards?
Yeah. So if you go into the Shark Alliance Facebook group.
Can you? Do you have it open right now?
Yeah. Here. So if you go into the Shark Alliance Facebook group, there's an announcement, and it says we've officially kicked off the second Path to Six Figures challenge. You'll have to click more, but then it shows you all the awards and prizes.
Nice.
And we're also giving away cash. One person's going to win $250. That's just, by the way that the cash prizes work is if you complete a level, your name gets thrown in for a drawing. So every level you complete, you get another name in the drawing, another name in the drawing. And then what we'll do is when we announce the prizes, we're going to pick out 6 random names to win $25. We're going to pick out 5 people to win 50. 3 people are going to win 100, and 1 person is going to win 250 in cash. And all you have to do is just complete some levels, and then you're entered in those drawings. So yeah, really awesome. All right. Well, man, another great training. And I definitely would go out and check out the replay. Like Nick and I said, even if, it's a good to know the system and have all the information and realize what's out there. Because you may one day find yourself in a situation like I was in. I had been fired. My unemployment was going to run out. I needed something that I could walk in and get a check from a business owner right away. And the only thing I found that I could do that with was this. Like I could literally call a business, social media message a business, email a business, and you'll see in the training examples of this, not just from me, but from others as well, where we just started a conversation and then the person's like, hey, send us an invoice. Like it really is one of the fastest ways to get to that point. So hope you guys watch it. I hope you get valuable information on it, but more importantly, I hope you take some action on it and get some clients. So
yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And just somebody asked, if these recorded, you guys, these streams are played in our Facebook group. So if you go to our Facebook group, you can always access all of the recorded streams there, or even at our Facebook page. They're always going to be there. Yeah. So go check out that link. Go watch the training. It's a great training. We give you everything you need just being there. You don't have to buy everything. So go check it out.
Yeah, I give you the templates and things, and you can take screenshots of them and use them. You'll be able to do it all by the end. So awesome, guys. We'll have a great Friday. Stay safe out there. Practice aloha, and we'll see you next week. Same Shark time, same Shark channel.
You've been listening to the Sharks Live Show, your weekly local marketing jam session. Every week, packed full of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show. And we hope you had fun along the way. We know we did. Don't forget to leave a like on this stream. Drop a comment below and share it with anyone you think might find it useful. And if you're not already a member of the most valuable marketing group on Facebook, head over to offlinesharks.com/group to join right now for free. There's more exciting new marketing info coming at you throughout the week. Nick's YouTube video on Sundays. at nickponte.com/YouTube and Tom's weekly podcast called What's the Secret, with a new episode each Tuesday at tomgaddis.com. And then back here next Friday for the Sharks Live Show. Till then, this is the Sharks Live Show, signing off.